Hi. I thought I'd talk about what it's like to lose your shit um, due to borderline personality disorder. Now, losing your shit is it's over the top emotions, hypersensitivity, um, and in my case, I'm gonna I'm gonna talk about an incident that happened. What is it? We're on Wednesday, aren't we? Just this was yesterday. I put my recycling bin out to be collected by the bin men, and I went out shopping at like 6:30 in the evening, and my bin was the only one standing outside. Everybody else had collected theirs. So I parked my car up, grabbed the bin, and it was still full. So anyway, I dragged it back into the backyard, and I lodged a complaint with Peterborough City Council. Got a special department for all that kind of bollocks. And I mean, this was about, like I say, probably 7 o'clock. So I thought I won't hear nothing about this until like tomorrow at the earliest. Um, but last night I was having a bottle of beer, and I'd noticed that there was a reply from the complaints department. And apparently, my bin wasn't emptied, the recycling bin, because it contained animal feces. Now, I obviously when I brought the bin back in, I opened it up. And that's yeah, the rubbish is still all there. Bottles, cans, getting through a lot of cans of stuff, Pepsi, lager, during the lockdown. But I didn't notice any, or neither did I smell any animal feces. So I emailed the complaints department back, and I told them that look, I don't have any pets at all, so I'm not in the habit of scooping up animal feces and sticking them in my recycling bin. I'm not I'm not some kind of disgusting blob. I've got some decency. And I said, if there were animal feces in there, it must have happened after I put the bin out. I don't know, probably a neighbour like scooped up some cat shit and put it in the bin, and they basically came back and said, well, they're not going to collect it because it's got animal feces in it. So I was a bit pissed off at this point, and so I emailed back and said, I'm not being funny. I am paraphrasing because I can't remember the exact words. I'm not going to fart about finding the email, but I basically said I'm not in a habit of putting animal shit in my bin, you moron. And basically I said if you don't fucking empty my bin, then I'll just fucking empty it all over the outside, and kind of left it like that. And I got another email back from them saying we've lodged your complaint with because the council contract the bins out to a separate company. I can't remember what they're called now. Lazy bastards. I mean, that's what they are. I can remember the bin men used to actually walk into your backyard, pick your bin up, take it out, empty it, and then bring it back. Not anymore. And I'm expected to clean animal feces out of my recycling bin that I didn't put in there in the first place. So there you go. That is losing your shit. And it wasn't down to alcohol because last night I only had a couple of bottles. It was because there was an injustice there in my mind. I thought that I'm not a hygiene worker. I don't see why I should fumble down through my recycling bin to find some cat shit that somebody else has put in there. It's like fuck off. If you're not going to collect it with the recycling, then just fucking basically collect it when the black bin gets collected. Um, this morning I was little bit calmer, um, and I was a little bit calmer, and I opened the bin up, took a photograph of it from the top, um, and there's no there's no dog shit or cat shit in there at all. It doesn't even fucking smell. So I emailed that to the council, and apparently they passed it on to their contractors. But it's that's what I mean about losing my shit. The, a very very small thing. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think I think most people would have been polite in that email. Here's another incidents of me losing my shit when I'm talking to the council. Right, a few years ago, how long? Probably 15 years. When I was married to my first wife, I'm I'm a diabetic, so essentially I inject myself with this. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little tiny needle on it. Like if I put it against against that green there, like you can see it. It's a little tiny needle. This is a dead one anyway because it's almost empty. And they only last for about a week outside of the fridge. But you unscrew that and then you stick it in. I've got um, sharps bins. I've got a few of them, including one that I've got not empty but take into the pharmacy. And that's how it's done now. Um, Back then, 15 years, um, we as diabetics were actually given proper syringes, and they were disposable. I mean, originally, when I was diagnosed when I was 17, so 30 odd years ago, and originally you basically had a big glass and metal syringe that you had to inject yourself with. Um, yeah, disposable syringes. Now, um, what how we actually dealt with disposable syringes back then was, yeah, we had like a sharps box, but they were very small and the syringes were quite big. So what we had to do was like, I'm talking about diabetics in general, is we had this tool to clip off the needle part of the hypodermic syringe, and then we'd throw the plastic away. That could be thrown away in the bin, and then we keep the sharps and then so on and so forth. Anyway, I'm at work. I was a civil servant back then. I worked for the land registry, of all places. And I, I get a phone call from my wife, and this is my first wife, and she said one of the bin men's just come to the front door, knocked on it. I've opened the front door. I'm describing every action, and apparently he said, "You're a bunch of heroin addicts, and I've told all of your neighbours." Now, when my wife said that to me, I was quite indignant. But the thing is, losing your shit again, losing your shit, rather than ring up and be make a complaint in a reasonable manner. I rang, I rang up the council and basically ripped them a new fucking arsehole, and basically says fucking outrageous. I want a fucking apology and all this. This is down the phone. All my work colleagues, because I rang up from work, all my work colleagues are like, what the fuck? And the person on the other end of the phone said, well, what I can do is send the person, the bin man who did all this, who told my neighbours that I was a heroin addict. Um, I He can come round in the morning and apologise. This was on a Friday, so it was a Saturday, so I wouldn't have been at work anyway. And I said, that's probably not the best idea because if I see him, I'll kick his fucking head in. Um, excuse me. That's what I mean. Losing your shit. Losing your shit is See, I when I lose my shit, I'm in a completely different zone. It's like it's not just about the red mist descending. It's about your field of vision closing in. Now, if and I've had road rage incidents with different people, and that's when the vision just closes in. It's like I don't even notice anything else around me. Could be a partner, telling me like leave it, that kind of thing. I'm not even listening to anybody else. I'm just focused on the person that I perceive to be either a threat or somebody who's really insulted me. And when when it's on the phone, you ring it up. Again, there was that close. Although I couldn't see the person I was speaking to, there was that closing down of the field of vision. So I didn't really notice my work colleagues. Didn't even think that they were there. It was just like they just disappeared. And it was only when I put the phone down that I realised where I was and what I'd been saying, and that all of my work colleagues were listening in. And like at that point, it was just like, sorry, and that, but just doing that dissociation thing where you just don't want to even acknowledge what you've done. And in a way, when I emailed the council last night and said I'm not in the habit of putting fucking animal shit in my bin, I realised afterwards that I perhaps shouldn't have sworn in the email. I lodged a complaint with my local councillor, and I did say to him, I I swore in the last email to him, but I've got borderline personality disorder, and I was flipping out, But I just wanted to share that with you. The fact that you know, it's like a over the top emotion to the slightest provocation, and I'm pretty certain if you keep like watching this channel, I will probably at least once a week detail some incident where I've lost my shit. I call it losing my shit because that's what it is, and it's like when I get tips over that edge for whatever provocation, justified or unjustified, whatever. I get tips over that edge, and I'm not happy until I've got rid of all of that anger. And for the most part, uh, especially with our partners, for the most part, it's shouting and screaming, insulting people, you know, uh, swearing, and coming across as like a really aggressive person. And afterwards, once it's because I've got all that fucking energy inside me, and I just want to get it out, get rid of it. And yeah, I'm not happy until, and if I if I don't go through the whole process where I lose my shit, get angry, shout and scream, get rid of all of that and all of the adrenaline that's in my system, then I start again. So that's another thing that's very difficult for a partner to live with. I mean, I would say that there was only one time when I really lost my shit with my ex-wife, my second wife, and that was when she told me she'd been seeing somebody else. But again, it was just shouting and screaming. I just getting in her face. I just wanted to get rid of that anger. And the thing is, once that's all over and done with, I don't want to be reminded of it. I don't want to. It's not. It's like I am sorry, but if I apologise, then I've got to recall my behaviour and how bad it was. So that's a tough thing for a partner to deal with. Now I don't know what it's like if you're a woman and you've got BPT. I don't know whether you can come across as aggressive as a man. And that's not me being sexist. I just don't know because I'm only speaking from my personal experience. But yeah, losing your shit over the most tiniest of things, and I don't know. I once all this coronavirus thing is over, then I'm hoping to get some. It's not CBT, but we. It's going to be a group of us, and we're going to talk through our issues and everything. And I don't know if that'll help. It might not. Um, but yeah, like I say, I just thought I'd share that with you. It's only like a 15-minute video, so you're not going to get too bored. Um, but yeah, losing your shit is something that if you've got BPD does happen. Um, and I don't know, what do you do about it? I honestly don't know. Anyway, tomorrow I'm hoping to talk about how, I mean, I've spoken a little bit about it tonight, about how borderline personality disorder can impact on a relationship. And if you've been through that, you might have different experiences to what I'm going to present. But yeah, and if you have, just put them in the comments below. It's nice to know that somebody is watching these videos. But if not, it doesn't matter because it is cathartic just to get that shit out there. Anyway, losing my shit. I'm gonna end the video now. See, I really should have the camera on the screen so as I'm not like doing this, and then I could probably use the mic out of that rather than this because I look a bit like a dickhead really. Anyway, thank you for watching, and just say tune in tomorrow.